The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. The Rap Roundtable returns for another installment of the Lunch Hour. It's your boy Jarve alongside Sincere Rap Snob.
What up?
Alongside Deanie the Balance, aka
Yo.
D Chef.
May the force be with you.
And of course, the homie Mace, aka the voice of the industry, aka sometimes still the voice of the young people. Fellas, you know, we had a little spike in news, but then in the last couple of days, I would say like the chatty boys have had to take a few steps back because there's nothing really to talk about. But on the flip side of the chatty news, there's been music that has released. And I think Rand put this out specifically for his air quote real fans to go and cop up direct to source. And then he eventually released it on the DSPs. We're talking about Director's Cut 4, right? Am I correct?
That's a common practice.
Of course, you know what I mean? You got to make sure that you make your bread. I'm not mad at Rand for doing that. In fact, ironically, to bring it real quick full circle, it's kind of why people were mad at Quali and Mos. If you were going to do it this way, then you should have just dropped it on the DSPs after people spent their bread. Because to me, if you download Luminary, it's not copping direct, but you spent a certain amount of dollars to support an album. So in a way, it's like buying it, but not. So once you put it back out, you're asking them to now spend more bread. I can understand the argument. I understand the argument is all I'm going to say. I'm not saying I agree, but I understand. But that's not why we're here, people. Right. We're here to talk about this new project. You know, a lot of people on the internet are talking about it in album of the year discussions. So Sincere Rap Snob, I'm coming to you first.
Yes, sir.
What are your takeaways from this project?
Listen, man, Ransom delivers once again. I mean, not just by himself, but you know, alongside Nicholas Craven, somebody he's been collaborating with for some time now. And look, man, we got to start talking about putting. We already talked about
not us.
No, I understand.
Not us.
I understand. Collectively in the, you know, out there, you know, collectively in the hip hop community, we got to start talking about because we've already talked about putting Rand up there in the conversations with the least lyricists in the game, active. But the combination of Ransom and Nicholas Craven, they've delivered the fourth stellar project in this series, right? And not too long ago we were just talking about like, you know, Nas and Hit Boy's next move. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna make a part 4 to their series? And I was saying, well, maybe they might want to break away from making a part 4, keep it a trilogy. But I don't know. I mean, the part 4 might be. Going by Ransom and Nicholas Craven's part 4 to this director's cut series, man. If it's working, just keep doing it. This project is stellar, bro. Like
stellar.
One of the things that I noticed, like immediately was, and that like I don't mean this in a bad way whatsoever, right? But Nicholas Craven, I feel like took a step back production wise, or at least in the sonic of his production, to just let Ransom shine, because like I feel like a lot of times as producers, as beat makers, like we want to shine as much as the artist and as much as the rapper that's rhyming over our beats, but sometimes you just gotta like, you know, take that step back and just lay like a foundation, like a nice, you know, easy soundscape, hashtag soundscape for the rapper to get off on. I think Nicholas Craven, that's what he was doing on this project.
That's an inside joke, folks. So if you get it, you get it.
Sure. And Rand, you know, just like always, his bar work is so heavy, but I feel like he stepped it up another level on here. If maybe not like lyrically in terms of like mic performance, but like in the shit he was saying, because he's not one to mince words ever.
Right.
But like the shit he was saying, like right off the intro, he goes right into saying, I'm top 3 and I'm not 3 or 2 either. I'm probably as high as the man who spewed ether, right? Which quite possibly might be alluding to a certain list. that was put out there, but I'll let y'all figure that one out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of lists, though.
There's a lot of lists.
Many lists.
But there's a certain list that he might be alluding to on that one, but I'll let y'all figure it out.
One that he was on?
He was on. He was on.
I think he may have addressed.
He was very close to the top.
I think I can remember a place that
he's talking about our list.
That table list.
A couple of tracks later, this is where he really impressed me, like conceptually, on the song "They Live," where he rhymes from the perspective of two prominent and controversial figures in pop culture, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Samuels. If you like really dig into the lyrics of that, you know that's super impressive to be able to rhyme from the perspective of those two gentlemen. As far as like the song that I like the most, Across 110th Street, is just like right in my wheelhouse, man. Like a perfect soul loop for Rand to get his block scriptures off of. It's great. It's a dope, straight through project. I'm super impressed. I continue to be impressed by Ransom and Nicholas Craven collabing. Yeah, man, this is, if it's in the conversations for Project of the Year, it's rightfully so. That's what I see.
Okay, Mesito, what's good, bro?
Yo, fantastic wrap up, Sin. I found myself really rocking with your review. You should do reviews for a living, bro. You're pretty good at that. Listen, Director's Cut 4, man. Excellent album, man. Like I was really blown away, to be honest with you. You know, I kind of when last time Conway dropped, I kind of got into my Ransom is the best rapper alive bag, and I don't feel like there's anything that he did here that you know what I mean makes me look crazy at all. Because I need you to understand about Ransom. He's like, you know, I'm not even gonna make any comparisons because comparisons make people upset. But he's perfect in the sense, the perfect lyricist in the sense that he's not, it's like his style is sharp like a Gensu, but he's not over rapping. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Like he knows exactly when to put the one syllable word in there. He knows the pocket work is excellent. You know what I mean? The concepts immaculate, bro. Like, so just like Sin said, like at the end of the day, like we all been going crazy over Nas and Hit, man. Rightfully so.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if they got the gold medal, Rand and Craven gotta be the silver medal right now, bro, because they haven't. Listen, you talking to a nigga who shits on drumless beats for a living, bro. And I was like, and I love this shit. This is what I'm saying. It's like Ransom is like, his style is like that of like a old blues singer in Mississippi, some backwoods Mississippi ball. You know what I mean? This is like pain rap, bro. Like They Live, excellent. Just like you said, like I have to throw a little something in there. I was talking to my man who's a big Ransom fan about this shit, and he said for the second verse, you know, Sin mentioned Kevin Samuel. He's like, God damn, I thought the nigga was talking about Martin Luther King. So, you know, shout to Ram, but you know, a lot of niggas might feel like you kind of dragged it on Kevin Samuels. But shouts to you gave him love when nobody else did. You know what I mean? Right. But Rand's imagery is excellent. We spoke about that with I Am God, about his style. Like Rand is the absolute master of that style. You know what I mean? Currently, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this might be my favorite Rand joint since Pain and Glory, bro. I know, listen, Coup de Grace, listen, that's like a duo project. So I can get out of adding that one. But it's like Minority Report had me, you know, I was fucking with Talib, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
salute, base.
Kweli got off.
Like,
Kweli got off.
Talib got off, bro. This
say
is
it
what I'm
again
saying.
for the people in the back.
Redeem yourself for that Luminary deal. Redeem yourself.
He sure did.
At a certain point, I just stopped counting bars because he was wild.
He was going in. Salute to Talib Kweli.
Man, him and Crooked Eye, bro, like insane, man. Just since Sin mentioned Across 110th Street, I think it's Nick Grant on that joint.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Just come on, man. This is like modern East Coast rap at its best. None of that shit that sound like you trying to sound like a nigga from 30 years ago. But you're not trying to sound like Lil Baby and them niggas either. This is
Right.
like when I want to hear East Coast rap. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I want to hear. This is what I want to listen to. You know what I mean? And you know I can't get love without a little bit of hate. You know what I mean? Y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that the type of run that Ran is on, that Khan is on, that Benny is on. At this point, we get into like 7-8 years. These dudes been dropping nothing but heat. And when we evaluate these all-time lists, we're gonna have to remember that a lot of these 90s niggas we fucked with had like 2-3 albums, gang. Like Ram been doing this shit for like a minute now, bro.
Wait.
I'm gonna start reevaluating some of y'all faves.
Conversation starter.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying,
wait,
man.
fellas, clear out. Oh, Maze, just because the chat is gonna, I already see the chat going crazy. Just for the sake of clarity, are you saying that specifically Ran, Khan, and Benny are more prolific than some of our 90s favorites?
More prolific than a lot of your 90s favorites. I gotta keep it a stack, man. Like, I would be honest, like, I gotta say it, bro. We're gonna have to start moving some of these niggas the fuck off the list. I'm sorry, man.
I need some names for real. He named names. Talk to him, Sin. He named names. I need names, dog.
You need a name or two?
Nah, I think we should save that for another episode.
Maybe not for next
so.
Yeah,
I think so.
You'll have to expand
They
on
gonna
that in
exit
the
their seats.
future.
We gonna leave them there, bro.
You know what I mean?
Free smoke.
Free smoke. Wow, Mace.
Yeah.
You got any more to add to that after that hot take, Skip?
Nah, I'm good for now, man. You know, LeBron ain't got no game tonight.
I bet.
Damn it, man.
Deanie, talk to me, man.
Mace, that's hard to follow, man. Pause. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this because you just mentioned the 90s characters. You know what I'm saying? The rappers of the 90s. We got to remember Rand has been doing this. I mean, to our knowledge, as far as since the late 90s, you know, back when it was like 18 and the whole Desert Storm movement. Salute to them. I mean, this brother's a technician and has been for, decades now at this point. The album is immaculate. Lyrically, I felt like I was having a conversation with this brother. I feel like we were just sitting down in the room. He was just rapping and I was listening to him because there's a lesson in every rap, bro. Every song is a lesson. Every verse is a lesson. He breaks down a lot of shit, a lot of street shit, if you know what I'm saying, if you understand the mechanics, but there's a lot of just life shit lit into that. And kind of like his mention of Kevin Samuels was, it's medicine. You get what I'm saying? The difference is, pause, Rand's medicine tastes good. You get what I'm saying? It's a knowledge base. You're learning from it. And bro, let me explain. I super paused it. Let me explain my shit, dog. Like, sometimes the most knowledgeable shit in life you get, it don't sound good. It don't sound good.
Time out. Say,
I'm
on time. You off the hook now.
I'm on time. My pause game is immaculate. Salute to Killer.
I'm good.
You're clear.
I'm clear.
You'll never be clear,
I'm out the penalty box.
Your track record is boundless. You'll never not be number one. Your track record tastes good. The chat is probably going to walk you right now. But let me explain. Let me talk my shit. Let me break it down. When you listen, even take Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? It was a medicine he was trying to provide, but it wasn't a flavorful medicine, bro. He was just straight cooking. And a lot of people didn't understand how to take that, and I felt that's pretty much what Rand's doing, but the bars are just immaculate. So you can actually intake the message and still appreciate the music. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Immaculate. Rise of the Machines, the intro alone, the whole, I'm Ransom. You know what I'm saying? Just the way he came into the joint and just barred the shit.
Of it.
Bro, barred director's cut indeed. Barred this shit to death. War Dogs. Shout out to Che. Che, I believe in you, Che. Your man said, you know this place has been slaughtered, disorder. You can't run game, but not on the pimp's daughter. Like, just little shit like that just had me like really captivated. The Kyrie, Kevin Samuel shit on They Live was some of the most. This was Nas S level description. I'm saying there's only a few artists that can even walk in that room. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Minority Report. Shout out to your man Kendrick. Took a little. It was a cute jab. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Why would you play the homie? I didn't want to give you a hard five for chasing up faces on me. I thought that was immaculate. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Rand. The ball, Craven. Let's not discount Craven.
Sure.
The Last of Us spoke to my soul. Minority Report. I love a violent beat. You throw some strings on a beat, I'm damn near halfway there. You get what I'm saying? Dark Waters, the way he closed it out, Freedom. It was a lot of lessons on this album, bro. Real digestible lessons you can teach another individual. Rand was giving jewels on this, man. I have no complaints. As far as a tape, sonically, since what was the name? What's the one before the last one with Craven? The cover was kind of reddish.
I gotta go check it out in the files. Chaos is my ladder.
You said what?
Chaos is my ladder.
Yeah, I think
Since that.
Okay.
No, I think Mace said something else.
Okay.
Pain and Glory.
There we go.
That was the minute. That's the one where he had to join around his head. The crown.
Yeah. For me, since Chaos is the ladder, that immaculate. Shout out to you, Rand. Pull up to the table, brother.
I remember. I think the one that's No Rest for the Wicked is right up there.
Oh no, that's crazy too.
Let's not do that. Yeah. No Rest for the Wicked.
Crazy too.
For me, you know what? My brothers have kind of covered the gamut. Like I don't want to be repetitive as far as rehashing their takes. They're all in lockstep as far as their listening experience with this project. For me, I guess I'll go to the beats first. I feel like recently, especially with Craven beats, they've been a little bit on the darker tone side. You know what I mean? Still fire, but it was a lot more ominous sounding beats, especially I think when he's worked with homie from Griselda, whose name is escaping me right now, Boldy. Of course, the work he's done in recent past. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is with this project, there was a lot of warmth on the samples. I came in expecting it to be in no slight against Ransom. I expect the same. And it's good. It's like to go, you get the fried chicken or whatever the case may be, and it's fire. But maybe I want a little Spanish food for a change. You know what I'm saying? So when I came into this, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get fire lyrics. I know I'm gonna get hard beats. But what's gonna be the difference in this project? So the first thing that stood out to me was the warmth of these samples, the funk usage. A lot of 60s and 70s music were used to sample. There was a connective tissue with not necessarily skits, but as far as the intro, how it was set up, and throughout the album, you heard those sound effects over the little microphone sounds, things of that nature that let you know that there's one cohesive project. For me now to the lyrics, I think Mace made the point about being in pocket. And there's certain rappers right now who are really good, but they're rapping like they're in pocket and then they're like one syllable outside the pocket. But because they're super nice, we let them live with that. But there's nothing better than being in pocket. And to me, not only was Rand in pocket with this album, he stopped rapping as much. It's like it wasn't about, whereas the last few projects I felt like he wanted to prove that, yo, I'm one of the nicest. He took his time with this one. He was more about delivering a message. There was a lot of, not necessarily pain, but it was like a lot of lessons were being delivered. Like he has fully ascended into being Big Homie. He's speaking from a level of experience. He's not speaking from a level of, I will do something. He's speaking from a level, I did it already. This is what is going to be the outcome. The Kyrie joint and the Kevin Samuels joint, like the way he broke it down and how the public responded to these public figures about, quote, mistakes they might have made without seeing the other side of it. I'm like, Rand never gave us that before. You know what I mean? The only thing that I was missing on this project was, like we talked about with the Conway album, Conway did it, but maybe get to sing a little bit.
Oh, vibey job.
Talk to the ladies. Throw a little vibe in there. That's the only thing that you could say was missing. But as far as a body of work, cohesive, a message being delivered, and dare I say, taking the challenge that, if you put Nas number one, here is why I should be number one. I'll do my best Nas impression while still delivering the bars you expect from me. I think we might have got that with Director's Cut 4. Maybe I'm jumping out the window, chat, you tell me. But the way he decided to not syllable, because the one thing about Rand rhyme schemes and his syllable, bars, and he will beat you to death And some people have complained on the internet about that. The tone, the voice is monotone, and things of that nature. He took those criticisms to heart, and he delivered this project. Yo, I'm album of the year. I'm putting it there. I'm putting it there. If they could say "Homie from the West Coast" album was fire, we knew it was not that good. What was his name? Larry June. If you could say Larry June's album is that, then
I love that album.
I'm doing it.
People been saying Killer Mike.
Killer Mike
he's getting a lot of praise. A lot of praise
Mike
for Killer Mike.
Deserves to be in that conversation. But if you're telling me Larry June's project could be in them discussions, then we should just anoint Ransom right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we are LP anointing Ransom. What I'm saying is, if Larry June is the standard, then the album of the year belongs to Ransom because it's not close on any level. That's where I'm at with that. But now I'm gonna broach your question. Sincere, you don't know what you did when you made the comment, but you did it. I didn't come into this pod thinking about it until you said it. But I'm gonna put it on the table right now. 4 Pete's, producer, rapper, collaborative albums. Is this director's cut run on the level of the KD series?
Oof. You put me in the spot now. I'm still. I mean, I gotta keep it home team. I'm still gonna say, Nas and Hit Boy still got that crown, but that. Yeah, Rand and Nick Craven are not far behind, bro. The only thing is, look, and Mace alluded to this. Mace is, generally speaking, not a fan of the drumless beats. I at least am like half and half. Like if it's a super fire loop that can live on its own, then leave it alone. You don't have to add drums to it. You know what I mean? I love me a good loop, and Nicholas Craven has made himself a career now out of finding some of the best loops. Or if they're not like OG loops, like I could, sometimes I hear the chops, like I know where it is that he chopped it up to make it sound like a seamless loop, and that's an art in and of itself. So, but it's that. I mean, I dig it. I like it. It's not Hit Boy production.
Okay.
That's what I'll say. You know what I mean? It's up my alley. I appreciate it. I dig it. I love it. But Hit Boy production is, I feel, on something else, on a different level. You know what I mean? And not, Nas and Ransom again, we could have that conversation, but to me personally, Nas is Nas. You know what I mean? And so it's hard for me to put anybody above Nas lyrically. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Dina, you want to touch that one?
It's too much versatility between Hit Boy and Nas, man.
Okay.
It's too much versatility. You're getting bars, you're getting introspection, you're getting detailed stories, and you're still getting the vibes, bro. Music still is about the sonics and how it make you feel. So I can't discount the vibes and the sonics, dog.
Fair play. I just gotta ask the question, Mace.
Absolutely.
Mace, you want to touch that one, or should we just keep it moving? I'll give you the ball.
I'll echo that sentiment. Yeah, I'll echo that sentiment. The Hit Boy production really is what kind of, and no shots to Craven, right? But because I'll say this, Ransom's performance is equal to, if not, that's all I'm gonna say. Ransom performance is right there. You know what I mean? Craven would be the weak link amongst these 4, parties. Is all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say they're equal. I'm gonna do it. I'll be the outlier, and not because of anything to do with Nas. I'm giving Rand his flowers. Rand is just not Nas. Nas is Hall of Fame, living legend. A lot of people still don't know who Ransom is, so I'm gonna prop it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Since he had the temerity to acknowledge our list in his bars in the intro of his album, I'm gonna give him his flowers because Joff likes a good compliment. Hey, you put me in the bar,
Hey, we don't know for 100% sure.
Bro, they had a conversation about it on Twitter, bro. Last fall when we did the list, and then this bar happens in the intro, and he knows.
He knows we're gonna
99.9, dog.
On the list, we would have, and our list, that lyricist list circulated heavy, bro.
Heavy. It was
all the way to Pharoah
different.
Monch, all the way to RJ.
Salute Monch.
A lot of people got their eyes on that
RJ.
list. So all I'm saying,
it made a lot of noise, man.
That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, because you took time to acknowledge our hard work, I'm saying that those 2 full album runs are equal. For that reason alone. That's it. Moving
Salute.
on.
Right.
B-Dot strikes again. That guy. I don't, you know, I swear I'm not going to rant this time. But we got it. Like, he's a guy, I know he has a job. So we can't say we got to mute B-Dot because he's here. He's part of the culture. He's on one of the biggest hip hop platforms, arguably the biggest music exclusive platform on the internet. So we gotta hear from him. But at a certain point, we gotta just start treating B-Dot the way we treat Skip Bayless. Like, we just don't use you for memes. So now B-Dot puts out the 10 greatest mixtapes of all time list. I don't know who asked for this list. I don't know where it came from. I don't know the history behind it. Does anybody know before I continue? Why do we need this list?
No.
I'm not.
I feel like you just felt like. I feel like maybe his name wasn't in circulation enough. I don't know, man.
He felt like he fumbled when he was asked.
Listen. If anything, Elliot Wilson's name was more so in people's mouths and on tweets. Than his, and maybe he just felt like, I got.
We gotta get into that. Sin. I forgot about that. Can we get into that after this list?
I need to get this spotlight back on me.
on episode 75, we're gonna get into that. As a matter of fact. So the 10 greatest mixtapes of all time. I'm gonna go reverse order. Future, 56 Nights. Jadakiss, The Champ Is Here. That's number 9. Number 8 is The Diplomats Volume 1. Number 7 is Jay-Z S. Carter Collection. Number 6 is Nipsey Hussle Bullets Ain't Got No Name Volume 2. Number 5 is Lil Wayne Dedication 2. Number 4 is Wiz Khalifa Cushion Orange Juice. Number 3 is Young Jeezy Trap or Die. Number 2 is Drake So Far Gone. And number 1 is 50 Cent. 50 Cent is The Future. That might be the only one he got right on this entire list. I'm gonna come clean. But to Sid Raps now, matter of fact, Mace, I'm gonna let you open up this segment because there's some names in here that you're synonymous with on this list. What's your takeaways from this particular 10? What are your critiques, if any? What would you change, if any?
B-Dot is up to his usual tricks, right? Like, I think it might have been you were saying that mentioned that what he does with his list is like he gets the right like people, right? The order is always shitty. You know what I mean? And in this case, a lot of the offerings from the artist are the wrong, mixtape. You know what I mean? And honestly, there's some staples that aren't in here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Rich Forever by Ross. That's, to me, Ross's best project, even up there with Teflon Don. You feel what I'm saying?
Rich Forever dropped right after Teflon, if I'm not mistaken, and that was the perfect sequel to Teflon, bro.
Oh, that shit was like a double album almost. You know what I mean? Like, you play this shit back. I was playing that more than that album. You know what I mean?
Remember when I got my new whip and I was working at the airport. I used to come into the airport parking lot, all 4 windows down, blasting that mixtape, ignorant every day. You couldn't tell me nothing about Rose back in them times, bro. Go ahead,
Classic. And you know what I mean? And what's number 8 on that list again?
The Diplomats.
Nah, number 7. There's something that
Jay-Z.
Hove don't belong there. Let's just get it out the way.
Hove don't belong there.
I love that mixtape. Some classic
fire mixtape,
of course.
But
top 10 ever above the Diplomats Volume 1. I'm sorry, Dean. That's the original mixtape with Oh Boy, and I'm ready.
Yeah,
and I really
need it. For Murder. Yeah,
that's where all them shit came from.
A lot of some joints.
Like, come on.
The Stand joint, has some joints. Definitely has some joints.
Listen, he got the wrong Wayne tape up there. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm Dedication 2 is classic, but it's no ceilings, bro. It's no ceilings, man. Like, No Ceilings had actual singles off of there, bro. Like, That's the one that they actually decided they had to throw back on fucking streaming services, my nigga. Like, No Ceilings is the one, bro. Like, that's
the world
that's
did love
the
that
epitome.
Keep it a
Come
buck.
on, man.
And No Ceilings might be top 3. I ain't gonna hold you.
I think so too. I think Cushion Orange Juice is too high, bro.
Why is Cushion
I
Orange
ain't
Juice
gonna
on this
lie.
list?
It's a
talk about
fire
it.
tape. It's a fire tape, but
For the
not
blog
top
niggas,
10. Not top 10. Not top 10. Great tape. Shout out to Wiz.
over Future, bro. A Wiz Khalifa tape over a Future.
Ain't that
tape,
the
bro.
wrong Future tape too?
Look,
Nah,
Yeah,
this
it's
is the
supposed
tape.
to be Monster.
Nah. Over 56 nights.
I mean, that was the 3P. I feel like
Shit.
What about Purple Rain?
Beast mode, like there's joints. You know what I'm saying?
Beast
But
Mode?
We not
56
talking.
nights.
Purple Rain shook this whole world, bro.
It did, but 56 nights, bro. There's a story behind the tape, bro. Like it's real shit.
Well, my son got listened, man.
Got caught up out there. Got caught up on the other side,
man.
bro.
You right.
Had my
You
man
right.
behind the wall for 56 nights, dog. Come on.
Listen, can I have a homer pick, y'all?
You
I
here?
see.
Men of Bird Gang, bro. MOB. The original Bird Gang mixtape where we was introduced to Max B. That's the first Max B tape where we really heard him going on, bro. I'm sorry, I'd rather that than a couple of them shits on there. You know what I mean?
What about those public domain joints? None of them made the top 10.
Nah, I don't think so. That's the thing. Like, even Fab didn't.
I'm about
like,
to just say no fat tape,
TNIC2?
no soul tapes.
no soul tapes.
bro.
Nah, but
That's crazy.
TNIC2 is an all-time mixtape. Forget
That's
the
an
soul
old
tape.
timer.
Of course.
TNIC2 is an old timer. You know what I mean? But soul tapes is listen.
Soul tapes
and
was
that's my-
tough, dog.
You
There's no
gotta have the
competition. It was
artist.
tough, though.
Come on, it was stupid tough, bro. And that's the thing. Like, artists like Fab is the bigger mixtape artist than he is mainstream. How you missing? You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like B Dot once again. He just tossing some shit together. I think like he's probably just went to Dat Piff, right? Put 10 most popular mixtapes and just put the top 10 up there. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't never have any rhyme or reason to any fucking list he makes. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feeling about the list though?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I've talked enough.
Weird, man. It's a little janky.
Go ahead, Dean Cook.
I like the champ is here for that. I do. I think like the same way you said Jadakiss is kind of more known. I mean not Jadakiss, Fab's more known for his tapes than the actual albums. We gotta say the same thing for Kiss.
Champ is a good choice.
The S. Carter collection to me is kind of wicked. Granted, dope ass music. We'll take none away. Hov had the world on tilt, but it just don't hit me. Salute to Nipsey. That's not even my favorite Nip tape. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even.
That's really the one I was thinking of. That Bullets Ain't Got No Name, bro. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't not gonna give two shits about Wayne. Wiz, like I said, I love that tape, bro. I do, but it's way too high. Jeezy, I couldn't appreciate Jeezy back then. Like, to me, back then, Jeezy was more like trash rap. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. Like, he was more like just the energy was bigger than the artist, if you get what I'm saying. Just the aura, Jeezy's aura was just running through the streets more than the actual skill of the artist. Came learn to love him later on, but wasn't on it. Drake, bro, I feel weird having Drake on a tape. You know what I'm saying? On a mixtape track anywhere, much less in the top 3, bro. Like top 2. That's wicked, my guy. Wicked.
I ain't gonna hold you. So far gone.
That's so far gone was ringing, yeah.
It was tough. I'm not taking away from it.
It belongs there, bro.
Top 10.
Wasn't that the tape that you tried to play for me, Mason, at the job?
That's the best I ever had, joint. Yeah, man.
It used to land in Vegas. It had joints up. Was it Uptown? Was that the one I had?
Successful.
Uptown. Fire. Don't get me wrong.
Stay was the joint where he used the Kanye beat. Stay was real.
The joint with Lloyd. What's the joint with Lloyd? Something all night. Up something up
all
night.
night.
Something like that. Night off. That's what it was called. Night off.
Yeah, bro.
That joints.
That tape belonged there.
That belonged there, yeah.
Does Kanye joint count as a tape?
What's that?
The Wednesday joints, the Good Fridays. I mean, that counts as a tape.
That's not a tape.
That all dropped. Most of them joints dropped on his album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the joints from the Cam joint dropped on the album from the Diplomats tape.
But it wasn't.
Kanye never dropped right. He never bundled it. It was just
you didn't put it together in one package. Look, far be it for me to be the one to come to Drake's defense, but and it's only it's gonna be very short lived. Very short lived based on what's next on the docket. But
there's an hour somewhere.
That so far gone was crazy, bro. Like you can't deny the impact of that shit. Look, I wasn't. We've talked about this in the past. Like I wasn't as tapped into the mixtape scene as my brethren here, but just like very similar to other B-Dot lists, and I feel like just lists in general. It's like like Job said, it's like you get like a couple right, like near the top, like maybe the top 2, top 3. No problem, and then the rest of it is just a fucking shit show. Like, I feel like the Wiz Khalifa joint is too high, and I almost feel like it's put up there because I don't know, maybe there's some desire to give Wiz Khalifa his flowers, and since he never materialized on like full length LPs, like let's give him his flowers for the mixtape. Because there was some, like, word to Dini, there was some joints on that mixtape, but like as far as a full work, I don't know. The Jay-Z S. Carter collection, I almost had to like go back and double check, like, was that an official mixtape? Because like it was like I feel like that was something that was kind of put together, and then in retrospect, it's like they were like, "Yo, let's make it an actual like official mixtape." It has no business being up there with some of the classic mixtapes of all time. Jadakiss the Champ is here. I would have put it higher. Yeah, I don't have too many other thoughts about this, but it's just like any other B-Dot list. It's like the top 2, top 3. All right, we fucking with you, and then the rest of it is just a fucking train wreck.
I mean, I feel like there's a G-Unit mixtape missing from this list too. Forget the 50th.
Too.
Isn't it?
It seemed like he wanted to just put one per artist.
And the Clips mixtapes.
Oh,
I got
anywhere
I got
in
it for
bro?
cheap. 1 through 4,
bro.
There was
Facts.
Which
Part
G-Unit?
2. That's the one. Part 2 is the one.
Was it We Are the Future? What was the G-Unit tape? What was it called again?
Whoa.
There was 50 Cent as the Future.
50
No
Cent
Mercy,
Future.
No Fair.
It was a G-Unit tape, bro.
Guess Who's Back?
Or were they all 50 tapes, but we just treated them as G-Unit tapes?
Yeah, they was all 50 tapes. They was all,
guess
but then he
that
used to
is
have Yayo and Banks on the
I never
front
looked
of
at it as a 50 Cent. It was always G-Unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we
That's
had
how we looked at it.
Return of the Body Snatchers that dropped.
Yeah, that could be on this list too, to keep it a buck.
Return of the Body Snatchers is a classic. I don't care what
It's crazy.
Say.
It is.
Young Jeezy alongside
Mechanic.
that light skinned heathen over there, DJ Drama Drop, Trapper Die 2. And anybody who loves Jeezy, if y'all go back to Trapper Die 2, if Wiz Khalifa's on this list, then Trapper Die 1 and 2 need to be on this list, because Trapper Die 2 has some classic Jeezy. Her Politics.
Is that the one that had the blue cover on there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was tough, bro. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
There's some West
Jeezy
Coast
had a run.
I know we're forgetting about, because I felt like Kendrick had a mixtape that was fire, but they treated it as an album. But
Section 80.
Yeah, I guess.
They ended up calling it an album.
Section 80 was fire.
But is a Section 80 just as almost equivalent to what So Far Gone was, as far as what it did for their positioning in the state?
I mean,
yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny how they parse that out. You know
right.
What I mean?
So,
and if I'm right now, if I'm Pusha T, because we've been talking a lot about Pusha T. If I'm trying to look for like the next chip on my shoulder, I'm looking at this list and like, yo, the We Got It for Cheap series. It should have found some slot on.
He
this
had
list.
a mixtape that had dropped when he was on Good Music that had shook the room too, that people were talking about.
It was a white cover.
And it was the song My God, I think, was on there.
Yeah.
And
it was like a prequel to his album almost.
And it had the diss, the Wayne and Drake diss was on there too.
That's the one that had Blocker?
Maybe.
I think so, Dean.
I think that's the one that had Blocker.
See, look, this list is weird. It just makes me beg the question.
And Dream Chasers, by the way.
Yeah, forgot about me.
But you might be right, Mace. This might be like a let me basically pick the ones that sold the most and tap into maybe the most regions, because there's a few regions. You know, we got Cam, Hove. I mean, the Diplomats, Hove, and 50 with the New York. You got Jeezy with the ATL, Wiz with
There's no
Philly,
West Coast
like
representation
Pennsylvania,
here.
Pittsburgh.
Jada, New York, Future, Atlanta.
Nipsey out west.
You see, so there's some, you know, try to Canada with Drake.
Spread it out
There
regions,
wasn't there a Nicki Minaj mixtape that was on there that went crazy right before?
Yeah, man.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
they love that tape.
It's coming back to me now. It just begs the question. You made this list. You made, like, I hate lists for the sake of lists. Take y'all behind the curtain as far as the rap round table is concerned. We really don't like doing lists. You know what I'm saying? We'll do it. Yeah. But notice the kind of list that we do. We've kept it artist specific, and even as hard as we try to do lists, we still get some hate because you just can't please everybody. But we put a lot of thought into those lists. Whereas I look at B Dot and it's like Sin said it, Dini said it. You're just checking boxes, and if you're doing the list and you're supposed to be a voice within the space, this is irresponsible to me. Like, at the end of the day,
we break our list down. You see the arguments that go in between these lists. We don't know how you come up with these lists.
Right.
We don't know if you sit in the room with a couple of dudes. We don't know if you just literally just, you know, just see what's going on out in the street. Just chopping from somewhere else. We don't know.
I feel like this is a very irresponsible list for a person that prominent in the culture, because as much as we are hip hop heads, so when we see B Dot, we naturally look the other way. For the person who's just getting into it, the new person in hip hop always goes to the popular sources for hip hop. So if you're a young 13, 14-year-old, B Dot opinion matters to you because he's an opinion giver at the highest of levels. You do this and it's like, it just makes me wonder, like, what were you doing when you were younger? Like, are you even a hip hop head? Did you just get a job and you're cosplaying? How did you get this title? How did you get this far? Not even to be on no hater shit. Salute to you getting to this point. But it's like if I work for the NBA, imagine me not knowing what a pick and roll is. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
But I'm supposed to call the games, but I can't break down a half-court offense. How did you get here, B Dot? I gotta know. See, I'm ready. All right. He upsets me.
He deserve it, man.
He upsets me. And maybe that's what this is what this is all about, for people to get upset. But it's bigger than a bad list. Like, you're not good for culture, like, to me, at this point. You're bad for hip-hop.
It's a conversation starter.
Yes, that. Now, speaking of Drake, earlier we mentioned him a few times. He put out a little comment about his frequent output, you know, whereas you expect artists to at least take a break here or there. You know what I'm saying? That was bad? Frequent output was bad?
No.
It wasn't that.
Who
he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? All the people he's talking about.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I need to pause that, but you got
you wavy.
But then he goes out of bounds and starts making comments like, whereas some other artists take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to make an album, he feels it's his responsibility to put out music at a high clip to match with the seasons, to keep it lit year after year after year. So, you know, I'll go first in this situation. You know, reading that comment, I'm not mad at the OVO God, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying put out music every year. Shit, I'm fair is fair. He just put out Her Loss, and I felt like Her Loss could have ran the first half of 2023. It's a lot of singles. They did a hell of a job with that album. But then he ran, within 3 months of Her Loss dropping, he put out that little R&B record that, you know, R&B rapish kind of record, and I kind of like. I'm not gonna lie. People tried to front on it when it first dropped, but it's kind of dope. You got the little Kim Kardashian sample in there too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. I like it. I'm not mad at the artist understanding that in this hyper microwave society, taking X amount of years off, 5 years, it's not good for business. It doesn't serve anybody. Keep the pewters pewting, keep the music moving, and keep the people entertained. Like, to me, like at this point in rap, if you're a rapper and you're taking 5 years off, you're doing it. It's self-satisfying. You're not doing it for no other reason but to prove a point that you don't need to put out music whenever you feel like putting out music. And we really don't give a fuck about that. We want the music, and that's where I stand on that one right there. Dini, what do you got to say about Drake's quote?
Salute to Drake for keeping it a buck. You know who he was talking about. Your man's like, I got Jimmy handling my light work with Pusha. I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? My only other rival is basically buying fake Jordans on Canal. Like, I'm wavy. I can talk big shit. You get what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
next thing you know, it's gonna be Mr. Mid and the Mad Steppers. We don't
He's
know
not talking to
what
Cole. He's not talking to Cole.
He's not talking to Cole, bro.
All right.
Cole's in a different spot. The features are consistent. The features are very consistent with Cole. It may not be albums, but he's always around. Now Kenny took a big break, bro. You know, niggas graduated by the time this nigga came and dropped an album. You know what I'm saying? Your ring, and I get the singing that enemy. Yo, I'm talking my shit. Yo, salute to Drake. Salute to Drake, bro. I respect it, man. Let your nuts hang on this one. Pause. He's been the top guy. And everyone else who you think is the top guy pretty much know where they rank at on the scale too. It is what it is. The owl god reigns.
OVO Capo. How do you feel about these comments?
Listen, man. I'm the OVO Capo, but Beanie just went Klay Thompson with a 37-point quarter. So I'm gonna get up my shots, but you know, Beanie kind of already put us up 20 for this one. You feel me?
Nah, we want to go 40.
Fuck it. Let's do 40 then.
Dream team numbers.
Man. Listen. He's 100% right, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Don't nobody want to wait no 5 years for some garbo, my nigga. Like, listen, at the end of the day, even if you feel every Drake album for the last 5 years has been whack, I still guarantee you is enough joints on there to be better than all mid-steppers. And that's the whole point. Like, if you're gonna make us wait, then it better be Illmatic, bro. Like, and speaking of Illmatic, even Nas knows, don't make niggas wait 4 albums in 3 years. You feel what I'm saying?
And then Mace.
So even what?
Let me give you. Can I get an assist real quick? And then,
after you make, pick up pop.
And then after you make us wait 5 years, you drop the mid-steppers, and then you drop it quirky raps with Keem, looking like them two girls running through the park in the mall.
Amazing, brother.
What's going on?
Fly out of Boston themselves.
Randy Savage balls, amazing, brother.
Like, what are we doing here?
All right, y'all gotta let me go.
Free smoke.
Mace wasn't finished yet. I just wanted to get that off.
If Kenny can wait 5 years, you can wait 5 minutes, man. Come on, man. So listen, at the end of the day, he's right, bro. Like, we listen.
Amazing, brother.
This is the way we listen. Amazing, brother. This is the way we listen to music nowadays, man. I'm sorry, Kenny. Go back to the drawing board. Get some better verses. Get some better beats. You know what I mean? Go to the club or something, my nigga. Please. I don't know. He needs some inspiration.
Stop making music with Keem. Stop being quirky. You know what I mean? Go back to.
And at the end of the day, he's doing this because he knows he can. What the fuck is Kenny gonna do, bro?
Word, you right. Gonna sub him. Oh,
yeah, motherfuckers.
Bro.
Make me sick.
There were newborn babies, bro, that learned to like have full on conversations by the time
we had 2 presidents. Like we had Trump and Biden. By the time
y'all making me sick, man.
The whole term.
Y'all gotta stop painting y'all nails like this nigga too, man. What we doing here? Look, man.
Yeah,
all right, let me make it clear.
How you marinate the steak and have no flavor? 5 year marinade,
bro.
Break up the steak, nigga.
It wasn't adobo.
If you have not come across Drake's quote, right? Let me just read it out real quick. He said in a recent interview, people like to complain about how much music I put out, meaning him, but I look around at all these faces and I know it's summertime. I gotta give you some new music. I don't know about these guys that go away for 3, 4, 5 years that want to chill out and all that. That's not me. So clearly from that quote, you pretty much, that's pretty much insinuating he's talking about Kendrick, right? But then also recently at a show, these were not words that he said himself out of his own mouth on the mic, but he had like a ticker across the stage with quotes and words and whatever. And one of the things that was recorded from one of his shows was that the ticker read out, the overrated and over-awarded hit song This Is America was originally a Drake diss record. Now, I say all that to say this. It is no surprise to me that Drake is taking shots at 2 artists that are artistically better than he is.
Stop.
And I feel
Stop.
Childish Gambino,
he's
man.
hearing the chatter out there that while his music might be popular, it's not really the most artistically gratifying. Kendrick has, multiple albums that have been highly regarded. Childish Gambino's music career is hit or miss, but visually, with the This Is America video, he also had the Atlanta show. He also had that recent show Swarm that's gotten a lot of.
We're talking about rap, bro.
I understand, but I just feel like Drake right now is feeling like this chip on his shoulder, like, my shit is popular, but like people are not giving me the critical flowers that he might feel he deserves, right? And maybe he's just coming to the realization that his music and his material is fairly shallow, kind of pedestrian, and he's finally becoming fully aware of it. And while he might have thought for some time that his music was more interesting, more deep, more profound than what it actually was, maybe he's just coming to the realization now that it never really was. And now he's lashing out.
Say it with your chest, son. Don't speak for Drake. Say it with your chest.
His shit is shallow. It's pedestrian music. It's for the casuals. You know what I mean?
Top rope
That's all it
sin.
is. You know what I mean? And so he might have thought for some time that he was kicking some profound shit. Meanwhile, all he was doing was giving IG caption fodders. And now he's got a fucking poetry book that, from what I hear, is just overblown IG captions put to paper. I don't know, man. Maybe he to me, he should just be happy with the role, the lane that he's carved out for himself.
Okay.
Just being a basic bro. Okay. You know what I mean?
Basic bro.
They was just about to send your hour chain in the mail, sitting there taking it back, dog.
Making music for the casuals.
Hey,
just be happy with that. Don't lash out at Kendrick and Donald Glover because they're making, more substantive material.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, like, if you want to say Kendrick makes more highfalutin, more artistic music than Drake, I'm standing next to you on that one 10 times out of 10. But Childish Gambino, let's be real here. We are heads. We are heads, bro.
Let's talk about it.
He has no place in this conversation. This Is America actually is one of the worst things to happen to rap. That song was garbage off the rip.
That shit was
it wasn't me that brought him up. It was Drake that brought him up. Why is Drake bringing him up?
But no, you were absolutely right. But as we're here and you're saying that he's more artistic than Drake, that song was garbage. He had another song that rang off crazy. And yes, he can rap.
The video was crazy. You
know what I'm saying? The video,
and my point was that
garbage. In fact, I'm gonna take it a step further. I don't like when the people that look like me pander to the people who are the opposite of me. And that whole video to me was just one of those, well, you've been around them so long that you want to go and show them this is our struggle. And I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Childish, I hated that song. They don't give a fuck about the message you were trying to convey, because even though it is what it is, ain't shit changed, right? And you hear pandering and placating to them. Fuck that song. He's not that good of a rapper. He's another one of these dudes whose bars are weak, so they get by on being artsy so that the highfalutin niggas that drink coffee sincere can validate him in conversation.
To be clear, I never said he was a dope rapper, and I've never been a fan of Childish Gambino as a rapper.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good
but
story.
His best hold up. His best album was not in any way, shape, or form a rap album. Awaken My Love is an incredible album, not a rap album. Thank God for that.
Awaken My Snooze.
Which one you looking more forward to? Watch him play the Prowler in the Spider-Verse or the new Childish Gambino album? Which one you looking for? Which one you waiting for, boy?
But that's what I'm saying. He's a better artist visually, which is what I'm saying. That was my point.
All right, so let's get to the brass tacks before we get out of here, because people are gonna get fired. We done ran long on this lunch hour.
Nice.
Personally, I'm tired of the tap dancing. between Aubrey and Kendrick. Are we finally at a place as a family, the Rap Roundtable, the chat, where we need to see them just squabbling out on wax? Because the subs, the little digs in interviews, the freestyles on BET, everything, the well-documented shots they were taking at each other, the well-documented human shields that use other rappers to throw their little darts and things of that nature, poor Big Sean catching strays and things of that nature. I'm ready for the squabble. Mace, are you ready for the squabble?
Hell yeah, man. It's long overdue, bro. And listen, it's what else is there left for niggas to do?
This era's Hov and Nas. It's time. I feel like they have to do that.
I would love to see it. I'm not gonna hold my breath. Okay. I feel like both. There's the thing that annoys me about both of them. Mm-hmm. Both of them equally. They want to act like they're far beyond this, this aspect of the game in their career, but they keep sending subs at each other. So it's like, pick one. Are you above and beyond this, or are you gonna get in the dirt and actually hash this out? Like one or the other. Pick one. But you can't be. Y'all can't keep playing this middle ground. You know what I mean?
Talk about it,
right? Because
Drake been low key with it when Kendrick was at his max powers. You know what I'm saying? But now, I think Drake's looking at Kendrick like, yo, he's T-Mac. You know what I'm saying? This kid was legendary. You was going at it with Cole, but you sprained your back. Now scoring 15 a night.
T-Mac, bro.
Scoring 15 a night don't hit like it used to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
He's comfortable now, bro. He's like, I see what this kid's been doing.
Yo, I was here for the slander, but T-Mac?
Listen, bro. He heard. There was a time when T-Mac was the guy, bro. When it comes to getting buckets.
He didn't get out the first round, though.
Scoring, bro.
Kendrick got championship.
I'm talking about specifically getting buckets. He was cooking. But then he sprained his back, bro. He sprained his back. He came back. He was T-Wack after that. It's the same thing.
Kendrick hollered at Deanie's crush. I'm convinced, man.
Word.
Deanie, come on, man.
Where's the fire bin? You snatch out the hot five. Where's the real fire bin, bro?
Nah, see, we're not gonna do that. Mace, you was about to say something before I cut you off and threw it to Deanie. What was you gonna say?
I don't even remember after Deanie went off.
Yo, where's
he's wilding, bro?
Where's the fire? First two joints he was cooking.
So you're saying that Kendrick
on fire?
You saying there's no bars even on this last?
I'm talking about the music don't sound good, bro. I'm not even talking
about them squabbling. You called him T-Mac, bro.
Bro, T-Mac used to be heavy with it though. He was a monster. Give me a better player. Give me a better player who got hurt. Give me a better player who got hurt.
Name a player who won championships. Like you can't name T-Mac and put him next to Kendrick, bro.
Bro, we can take Hakeem the Dream when he was cooking. Then he hurt us. He got hurt. Wasn't cooking no more.
Hakeem won the MVP, the Finals MVP, and the Defensive Player of the Year in 1 year, bro. Like at least that's.
We can say Kendrick kind of did something like that.
How about KD? How about KD?
KD's still cooking at a high level though. KD's still cooking at a high level.
Not cooking at a high level,
bro. When's the last Kendrick song you enjoyed? When's the last Kendrick Lamar song you really enjoyed? I'm asking, just name the song, bro. That you really enjoyed.
Don't do that, bro. You're
N95 went crazy.
It was all right.
So the whole time
it was good songs.
See, this is
mid. It's mid.
Time out. This is what
half all right, half black.
Now, so was the album garbage? Are you saying the album's garbage? No, I'm asking. Because you're saying if you calling it T-Mac, you saying he ain't got no joints. The album had to been garbage to you then.
No, T-Mac was cooking. T-Mac was arguably the best scorer in the league. Arguably. You know what I'm saying? He got a couple scoring titles.
Does not support Deanie calling Kendrick T-Mac. This is all Deanie. Don't say y'all in the comments. Don't say they. Say Deanie. Deeni. Say him in the comments. We don't support
this. When you started, now I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
From our point of view, this has become a Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather situation where it's two guys who obviously need to fight, but because there's so much money in them winning, that fighting will diminish the bag. And we may never get that squabble. We're probably only going to get that squabble when one of them finally decides that they're not at the pedestal they're used to being at. Whoever falls off first is going to say their name on the record. That's where I put it at.
Drake is going to do it first, bro. He's comfortable. He's comfortable.
I don't think he's as comfortable as you might think he is. I feel like
I couldn't see Drake doing that call out when Kenny was cooking.
He's still dissing Pusha T. I don't know if he's comfortable, bro.
There's some turmoil in there, man.
Drake would have jumped out the window if he didn't lose Pusha T. He'd have jumped out the window by now. But he's been cautious just to push his shit.
Plus, you don't want to wake up. You don't want to wake up the sleeping giant and get old.
Because he was working his way up. He beat me. You know what I mean? And he was working on Push. If he'd have beat Push, he'd have won that Kendrick by now.
But you don't think that Keem and Kendrick record is like a diss in a roundabout way, considering the song they sampled? Isn't that a Drake record?
Yeah. I mean, they Drake and Kenny at this point are getting to Drake and Kanye levels. Like I could assume that half the shit y'all niggas are talking about are about each other. The way y'all be.
Well, Scorpios and Geminis don't get along generally, so here we are. We've gotten into the zodiac aspect of it all. But anyway, we got to wrap this up because we done went over our usual lunch hour time. Please don't get fired. You were listening to the Rap Roundtable.
Keep your day job.
Deanie was wild, but we love him still. Take us home, bro.
Yo, y'all know who y'all fucking with, man. It's the Rap Roundtable. Salute to all the day one, salute to the day twos, and we love you for fucking with us right now. This is Job, the motherfucking point guard. Fucking Sincere the Rap Snob. Macito, the voice of the industry and the young people. We bringing it back, Macito. I'm Deanie, the balance of the force, and with our powers combined, we are the Rap Roundtable, and we fucking out of here.
Great on the vibe.